Last week here on Thursday Night Thunder, it was Gene Patterson and the Ford Brass Eagle Snake Bite knocking off Dragonoid in the final round. The Dragonoid team had a hard rollover trying to run down the old snake, but couldn't come up with the win. Patterson currently leads in the overall points and is your current Thursday Night Thunder champion. Is he going to be able to hold on to that flag here tonight? We find out next.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Thursday Night Thunder, and we have got a star-studded field ready to do some racing here tonight. The MTA Officials left the track the same as last week. This has never been done before, but the racing was so close, they wanted to leave it the same and let these guys throw down one more time. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes as we get set to go monster truck diecast racing. There's your current champion, Gene Patterson and Snakebite, and all sights are set on the Ford Brass Eagle staged on the center of the track. Now, as we jump over to round one action, Bad News will take on Wildfire, followed by Bigfoot taking on Max D. Then we'll see Raising Cane take on Storm Damage, and then Wild Hair take on the Outlaw as we kick things off in round one. And over at the latter half, we'll see Monster Mutt take on Gravedigger, and then Bulldozer takes on the champion himself, Snakebite. Now up first here in round one action, we've got Ray Acuna out of Elkton, Virginia in the Bad News Travels Fast Machine. He is set to take on Ashley Obie out of Wells Motorsports, former two-time Thursday Night Thunder champion in the Wildflower Machine staged over in the near lane. Ray Acuna hasn't had a good shot here lately on Thursday Night Thunder. He's looking to turn things around, but has to knock off a wily veteran in Wildflower stage over in the near lane. Both trucks are staged now as we get set to go green. Bad News and Wildflower down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over no man's land here. Wildflower gets a little out of shape. Bad News picks up the win. He's on to round two action. Wildflower is back on the trailer for the rest of the night. Now, moving on with round one. Mitch Brown comes to the line, five-time Thursday Night Thunder champion out of Pacific, Missouri in Bigfoot. He is set to take on the new kid on the block, Ethan Medlin, one-time Thunder champion out of Bradley Graham's Maximum Motorsports race team. He is in Maximum Destruction, staged over in the far lane. He has had a hard time keeping the truck down on all four wheels. Is he going to be able to outrun the veteran Mitch Brown in the near lane here in Bigfoot? Boat truck stage. Here's a green light now. Max D and Bigfoot down the straight stretch. They're up and over the cars. Brown hanging with him. But Ethan Medlin looks like he came up with a win in Maximum Destruction. What an incredible race as we go back down to a photo finish to see who did win the race. And it's going to be Ethan Medlin and Maximum Destruction moving on to round two. Now next up in round one action, this is Nick Parson. Made his debut in wild fashion, put the truck on the tailgate a couple of weeks ago in Raising Cane. He is set to take on Chris Baluk out of the Bad Weather Race Camp in Storm Damage, the wicked-looking square-body Chevrolet staged over here in the near lane. What a piece of driving he's been doing out here. He's looking to take it all the way and claim his third Thursday Night Thunder championship. Boat truck's ready to go now. Raising Cane set to take on Storm Damage. Here's their green light now down the straight stretch. Ford and Chevrolet up and over the cars here. Oh my! And Storm Damage turns it over, but I don't know who got the win. It looked like Storm Damage was right there at the line with Raising Cane. We're going to go back down and take another look at the MTA replay. You see Raising Cane had a slight lead over in the far lane. Watch Chris Baluk right here. Hit the cars and launches the truck, but he crossed the finish line. He crossed the line and turned the truck over at the same time, and now the MTA track crew and officials are down there to roll him back over, and it doesn't look like he hurt the truck too bad. However, he does move on to round two action. What an incredible race right there as we move on with round one. Up next, the nine-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. That's Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair Chevrolet out of Wells Motorsports. He is set to take on Week 1 finalist Jamie Hurd in the Iron Outlaw Machine out of Tonganoxie, Kansas. He is looking strong out here on Thursday Night Thunder in that brand new ride. But he takes on a longtime veteran, Rich Wagner in the Wild Hair, first ever Thursday Night Thunder champion. Boat truck stage now. Here's the green light as they go down the straight stretch. Iron Outlaw's got a lead on him up and over the cars. And it looks like Iron Outlaw, Jamie Hurd, may have picked up the win over the veteran. We're going to go back down and take another look here and see who got the win. You see the lead at him. It looked like Jamie Hurd treed him off the line. Rich Wagner trying to plant down the big Chevrolet horsepower and come back on him. But your winner's going to be Jamie Hurd in the Iron Outlaw machine. What a great race right there. As we move on with round one, Kieran Adams made his debut. He is a one-time Thursday Night Thunder champion. I know it's not on the card, but it is in the record books. Jason Wolf, the Crazy Cat, one-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, now driving for Johnson Motorsports. Can you believe that? They have acquired one of the top drivers out here on the MTA circuit. He is set to take on Kieran Adams in Granddaddy's Ride, the Liquidator Ford, out of the K&J Race Camp. As we go green now down the straight stretch, Liquidator has the slight lead. Prowler coming back, but gets pummeled up there in the center of the track. And Liquidator will pick up the win. As we go back and take a look at the photo finish, Prowler got hung up in the center of the track, and it was all Liquidator from that point on. As we move on with round one action, we have got Nathan Smith coming to the line out of the Dog Pound and the Monster Mutt, the new kid making a name for himself, but he draws up a brand new team, Sky High Racing. That's Aaron Church behind the wheel of Dragonoid. Made it all the way to the finals last week, turned the truck over. Fiberglass was scattered all over the track. He was trying to chase down the Ford Brass Eagle Snake Bite, Gene Patterson. However, he came up a little short. He's looking to redeem himself here tonight, but he's got to knock off the Mutt. Here's the green light now. Dragonoid and Monster Mutt got a lead on him up and over the cars here. And both trucks went wide around the cars. However, Monster Mutt does pick up the win over Dragonoid, and you got to wonder if that truck is hurt a little bit. Next up, the Outlaw, Joshua Wells, in the Gravedigger. He is set to take on the Rookie of the Year, I want to say, Jeffrey Skipper in the West Virginia Mountaineer, because he is a three-time Thursday Night Thunder champion, Wild Card champion, and Halloween Madness champion. The West Virginia Mountaineer out of Johnson Motorsports has been a strong machine, but he's moving on at the Full Throttle Show coming up next weekend. Gravedigger and Mountaineer now down the straight stretch. They're dead even up and over the cars here. Skipper's out of shape. And the Outlaw, Joshua Wells, in the Gravedigger will outdrive Jeffrey Skipper over in the Mountaineer. That's one up for Wells Motorsports, knocking off Johnson Motorsports. Now as we close out round one action, John KDX has been on a rail here lately in the Bulldozer, but he draws up tonight's current champion, Gene Patterson out of Jefferson City, Missouri. You guys might know him as Colt Cobra. Staged over in the far lane in the Ford Brass Eagle Snake Bite, supercharged by BDS. He is set and ready to go, ready to retain the checkered flag, but he's got to knock off the Mean Bull over in the near lane. Both trucks staged now as we go green. The Snake and the Bull now down the straight stretch. Patterson falling behind. Bulldozer turns it over, and Gene Patterson will get the win. What a ride there by John KDX in Bulldozer. He was letting it all hang out, kind of looked like a repeat of last week's final. But look at this replay right here. KDX had the lead on Patterson from the start, but watch him right here come through no man's land. Gets way out of shape, tries to drive out of it, and turn the truck end over end and sticks it up on the tailgate. What an awesome shot right there. Kudos to John KDX giving it all he's got. But folks, we're heading down to the pits now in between rounds, and we're checking up on Chris Baluk's storm damage machine. The team is down there thrashing on it. They snapped the 4-link bar, they're replacing it, and adjusting the sway bar. They should be back in time for round 2 racing. Hopefully the truck didn't get hurt too bad, but storm damage is expected to come back for round 2. And speaking of round 2, here's your matchups. Bad News takes on Max D, followed by Storm Damage, who we just talked about, is set to take on Jamie Hurd in the Iron Outlaw. And up first, we have got Ray Acuna, again out of Elkton, Virginia, in the Bad News Travels Fast Chevrolet. He is set to take on out of Paxton, Illinois. That's Ethan Medlin and Maximum Destruction. Now, the kid has been making a name for himself, whether good or bad or indifferent. He is putting on a clinic here in Max D. However, Ray Acuna in the Bad News machine wants nothing more than to knock the new kid off his block. Max D taking on Bad News. Here's the green light now down the straight stretch. Bad News has the lead on Max D up and over the cars here, and Medlin turns it over. And Ray Acuna in Bad News travels fast, moves on to semis, and I think Max D got tripped up on that sea container in the center of the track. Medlin turns it over. Bad News moves on. And next up, we were just talking about him. The team has got Chris Baluk in the Storm Damage Chevrolet back at the line. He is set to take on Jamie Hurd out of Tonganoxie, Kansas in the Iron Outlaw machine. He has been looking strong all season long, and I didn't mean to rhyme that, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And now he is set to take on Chris Baluk in a beaten up Storm Damage. Hopefully the team had it back together, and it's ready at 100% here in round 2. Both trucks staged now. Here's the green light as they come off the line. Storm Damage has a lead on him. Outlaw coming back. Oh, look out. And Iron Outlaw will get the win over Chris Baluk and Storm Damage. We'll see the Iron Outlaw Ford in the semis. Now next up, This is Kieran Adams again, the one-time Thunder champion in Liquidator out of the K&J Race Camp. He is set to take on Nathan Smith out of the Dog Pound, two rookies that making their mark here this season on Thursday Night Thunder. And Kieran Adams is already a one-time Thunder champion in the first week of the November season. Nathan Smith last month in October, and he's been making a name for himself out here on Thursday Night Thunder. Boat Truck stage now, K&J taking on the Dog Pound. As we go green, down the straight stretch now, Monster Mutt has the lead on Liquidator, up and over the cars, and what an incredible race. But Nathan Smith and Monster Mutt and that MTA banner cannot catch a break here tonight. But Nathan Smith and the Monster Mutt get the win over Liquidator. As we go back and take a look, check out the photo finish. It was merely by half a truck, so to speak. Monster Mutt gets the win. Next up, the Outlaw, Joshua Wells, returning in the Gravedigger, one-time Thunder champion. But he is set to take on a longtime veteran, Gene Patterson, in Snake Bite. Now, Gene Patterson wants nothing more than to claim victory number 3 on Thunder. Josh Wells wants victory number 2 on Thunder. It's going to be a battle of Ford versus Chevrolet, Gravedigger versus Snake Bite. Stage now as we go green. Boat Truck's now hard off the line. Snake Bite got a lead on him, but Gravedigger's coming back. And I think Gravedigger may have lost power there. I'm not sure. As they got over no man's land, the truck just kind of stalled out. Nonetheless, Patterson and Snake Bite will get the win over the Gravedigger. And folks, we are going to head down to a commercial break real quick. But don't go anywhere. The semifinals are coming up next. We started with 16. We're now down to 4. We'll be back with Thunder after the break.
I'm telling you, we're coming out. We're going to be strolling. We're going to be flying high.
Some tough competition out here, but I'm going to see if I can't climb my way to the top.
And back here now on Thursday Night Thunder, and it looks like the MTA track crew and officials are towing the Gravedigger off the track. It is true, he was not shut off. The Gravedigger lost power, some sort of electrical problem. As they get him towed off the track, we want to remind you, Full Throttle is 1 week away. 32 trucks will be there competing, all for the Full Throttle Championship, and that's a race you don't want to miss. As we move on with semifinal action, Bad News set to take on the Iron Outlaw, and that's followed by Monster Mutt taking on Snake Bite. Now up first in semis, this is Ray Acuna again out of Elkton, Virginia. Bad News is running strong here tonight, but he is set to take on another strong competitor, Jamie Hurd in the Iron Outlaw Ford. A classic matchup, Ford versus Chevrolet. Now both drivers have been on the MTA circuit for quite some time. However, you normally see them in the 32 truck races like we had just spoke about with Full Throttle. But they're here on Thunder now. Outlaw and Bad News as we go green down the straight stretch. Outlaw's got a lead on him. Bad News, look out, and turns it over. Iron Outlaw will get the win. Bad News looked like a repeat of Chris Paluk's storm damage earlier in round 1 action. And we're going to go back to an MTA replay and try to figure out what happened to Ray Acuna and Bad News. And definitely some bad news for him. Coming over no man's land, crosses up on that stack of cars, and look at the vertical air right there. Just turned it over. Coming across the line is the Iron Outlaw. He picks up the win. And now the MTA track crew and officials down there making sure he's out of the truck. He is okay. And it looks like the rear end took the blunt of the hit. It definitely busted an axle housing. The Bad News team has a lot of work to do, but congratulations for getting to the semifinals after a hard-fought season. And next up in semis, out of the Dog Pound, it's the new kid on the block, Nathan Smith and Monster Mutt, but he is set to take on your current Thunder champion, Gene Patterson, in Snake Bite. He is looking to hold on to that flag, and they have got the Ford Brass Eagle Snake Bite dialed in here tonight. But you can't count the kid out yet because Monster Mutt is reigning supreme here in week 3 of Thursday Night Thunder. The Mutt takes on the Snake as we go green. Who's going to the finals? They're dead even down the straight, up and over the cars here, and we got a race. But Patterson and Snake Bite get the win over Monster Mutt. He was hanging right there with him. This kid is going to be a star out here on Thunder, I can guarantee you that. And some incredible racing here tonight, but the finals are next. Snake Bite takes on Iron Outlaw when we come back.
Attention, Monster Truck Attitude fans! If you and a friend want to get in on the action of side-by-side Diecast Monster Truck Racing, be sure to log on to Facebook.com and check out the group Monster Truck Attitude and watch for registration. The link is in the description of all of our videos, and you can get down and dirty in the pits or go side-by-side Monster Truck Racing. Sign up for events like Sunday Night Madness or Thursday Night Thunder, and check out all the latest stuff on Monster Truck Attitude on Instagram and Facebook. You won't regret it, so check out the group Monster Truck Attitude.
Back here now on Thursday Night Thunder, and it is all set and ready to go for the finals of Week 3 of the November season. Jamie Hurd was in the finals in Week 1, and Iron Outlaw came up just a little bit short. However, Gene Patterson in Week 2 took home his second Thursday Night Thunder Championship and is in the finals again here tonight. And Week 3 and the Ford Snake Bite is ready to go, but so is the Ford Iron Outlaw stage in the near lane. It's time for Jamie Hurd to pick up his first win, and his teammates are standing behind him. Who's going to come out on top? Snake Bite, Outlaw. It's showtime down the straight stretch. Outlaw's got to lead up and over the cars here, and he's got a race. And Snake Bite looks like he got the win over Iron Outlaw, and Jamie Hurd must be furious. But Gene Patterson will hold on to the flag yet again for the second week in a row. Look at the line right here when they come off the start. Iron Outlaw treed old Patterson there in the far lane, but watch Snakebite fly high in the far lane, coming back on the Iron Outlaw, and comes across the line there. He picks up the win, so congratulations to Gene Patterson in the Ford Brass Eagle Snakebite on your third Thursday Night Thunder Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and jump over to the overall point standings at the latter half of the bracket, closing out Week 3. Raising Cane at the top with 95 points, and the other three follow suit at 90, closing out the latter half. And over at the top half, with tonight's win, Gene Patterson sails to the top of the points bracket in Snakebite with 155. Liquidator following him with 130 in second place. Third place belongs to Jamie Hurd and the Iron Outlaw with 130 points. And folks, that will wrap up episode 76 of Thursday Night Thunder. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to tell you, thank you for following MTA. Thank you for subscribing to this YouTube channel. These races are all for you, and I'll never forget where we came from. Be sure, if you haven't already, crush that subscribe button, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next week.
Standing tall up in victory lane, I done brought the pain and now they screaming my name. Yeah, everybody saw me rock the place. Now there's flashbulbs are popping and mics in my face. Always giving the crowd what they need. Now they're wearing my shirts front row to nosebleed. Now the crowd forms is what it's all about. Signing autographs until the lights out. Yeah, it's about that.